morning, all you wonderful money masters. Welcome to the Trader's Edge. I'm your host, Steve Rhodes. Thanks so much for joining us. It is terrific Thursday. We've got terrific Thursday, terrific Tuesday. Of course, Al says it's thunderous Thursday. I hope you're off to a great start of your day. If you're not, you should be. Just put yourself in a place of strength, folks. You can do it in a heartbeat. All you got to do is change your physiology, get those shoulders back, if you will, take in a nice deep breath, lift that chin up, make sure that you're looking to the sky, folks. In fact, if you are ever not feeling good, if you're feeling negative, depressed, or what have you, you want to shake those ants, those automatic negative thoughts right off you. Just lift your chin and look to the sky. You try that. If you've got a child, you've got a grandchild, or what have you, and they're crying, they're hurt, one of the quickest ways that you can change their physiology, and if you want to be able to change your state, folks, it's all about changing, starts with changing your physiology. Just have them look up, and you will be amazed. Just try that out the next time you run into that, because people have patterns. You have patterns, and I can promise you can describe a depressed person to me, and I'll tell you which way their eyes are pointed, which way their head is tilted. And so change it. Make sure that you're coming from a place of strength when you show up here. If you're not, by the end of the show, you absolutely will. This, folks, is my favorite time of the day. I absolutely love being here with you. We go tour around the markets. We go take a look around the world, see what's going on, get a feel each and every day. We start off taking a look at our charts fresh because we want to take a look at what is the artwork that's out there. You know, our charts are nothing but patterns. They're artwork, and I want to be able to teach you how to see those patterns, how to be able to trade, how to be able to change your position at any point in time, because it's always the market that's providing us with information. And, you know, when you show up at the market, you should always show up with a fresh thought process. Get rid of whatever's in your head. Receive the gifts. See, one of the problems that most of us have as providers, and I know that if you're listening in, that you are absolutely a provider. You're a provider. You're providing for others. You're providing for yourself. You're looking for pieces of information about what's going on in the market. And when you're a provider, one of the most difficult things to do is to receive gifts. But I will tell you, there is nothing better in the world than you could do for yourself than learn how to receive gifts. Because the universe continues to throw choices out to you all the time. And if you have any difficulty receiving gifts, accepting gifts, then you're going to miss out on opportunities. And that's really what's so cool about the markets that we trade. Because on a continuous basis, the universe or the markets, and it's a universe of traders all around the world, are providing you with gifts, providing you with information. And folks, when the charts or the universe is not providing you with anything, it's time to just sit back and wait. Wait, because something will come. And I always want to be able to teach you how to manifest something into your life. Well, first you want to make sure you're coming from a peak state. I always like to come from this spot that you're looking at over my shoulder, my favorite spot. Make sure you have identified a favorite spot in your world. That doesn't mean you can't find new ones, but make sure you've got a spot that you can go to in a heartbeat. That is the first stage, and you want to make sure that you are focused on what you want. Do not ever focus on what you don't want. If you watch professional sports, I like this show opening here that we started, golf, because I love golf, and it is if you are a golfer out there or a tennis player or any kind of athlete whatsoever, and you are in a competitive match, and you get to where your back is up against the wall, maybe you're about to lose the match, or maybe you're about to win the match. You watch any professional athlete when they get to that stage. Why is it when they get right there, when they could possibly win, when they could possibly punch right through, either they're going to punch through for victory or they're going to fall on their face from a defeat? Why is it that all of a sudden you see a change, a shift? When you take a look at football teams, you can watch it all around you. And the thing is, when you get right near that crust, if you will, when you're about to bust through, your focus changes. Instead of focused on what you want, all of a sudden you start to make this little shift change to what it is that you don't want. And I promise you that you will drive towards what you don't want all of the time. If you're a race car driver, folks, if you're a race car driver and you're going around the track at a couple hundred miles an hour or whatever the speeds are that they go around, how many of those race car drivers are focused on the wall? They are not focused on the wall. That is not where they want to go. If you are driving, folks, if you're driving and you ever lose control, and it's easy to do. All you have to do is be driving fairly fast, get off of the road onto a piece of grass. That turns into ice, if you will. Make sure that you are always focused on where you want to go. Because, the folks who run into the trees, and I don't want you running into any of the trees, folks, it's because they were focused that way. That's where you start steering. You steer towards what it is that you focus on. but works that same way whether you're focused on a good thing or a bad thing. And so I want to make sure the power of focus is so important. When you see those negative things starting to run in there, you want to shake those off. Make sure you lift your chin up. That's what it's all about. We talked about, the markets are relatively flat, so we don't need to go right to the markets right now. We're going to spend the rest of the time on the markets. But, for a few minutes here, we've talked about, and it's already week number 3. Hard to believe. Week number 3 in January. It's just clicking by. And during the first week, we really talked about the importance of understanding, what your mission, what your purpose was. You wanted to understand that. And then we worked on week number 2, really what's your drive? What are your strong reasons why? Why must you do this? Why must you go out and get some of the rewards or the gifts that you want in life? You have to have strong reasons why. If you don't have strong enough reasons why, you need to keep working on that, because if you don't have a strong enough reason why, you're going to lose interest. You're just simply not going to do it. Whether it's a strong reason, and you want to use the same principle, whether it's in your business or whether it's in your health, your wealth, your relationships. When I talk about wealth, I'm not just talking about just simply the money game. That's why I'm doing the webcast a week from yesterday, so it's next Wednesday. Free webcast from 6:30 to 7:30. Pathways to growth. It's not about the market stall. It's really about growth. And even if you don't own a business, you probably want to attend, because there's information that's contained in there that absolutely will, if it won't change your life, maybe you'll learn it for somebody else. Maybe it'll be a child that you're going to, that you've got that's coming out of college, or maybe they're out of college, or maybe they've been out of college for a while and they haven't been able to find a job. How about, there's no employment like starting your own business. But if you want to start your own business, then you really absolutely need to attend this webinar next Wednesday, because I will teach you things. It's all about growth. You take a look at growth stories that are out there. I know maybe I'm shifting around a little bit, but Eastman Kodak filing for bankruptcy today. There's a situation where they didn't really understand what business they were in. That's why I spend time talking to you about, this is not the business of trading and investing. This is a money game business. And you need to understand the probability of the money game business. You need to understand the power of one. That's the power of you. What type of risks that you should take. Because there are tricks to every game. There's a formula to every recipe. In the money game, there is a formula. In the business game of growth, and being able to take your company from where you're at in revenues to where it is that you want to go, whether it's the money game, whether it's selling a retail product, whether it's B2B, business to business, whether it's B2C, business to consumer, folks, what it's really all about is understanding where it is that you want to go and changing your focus and understanding little tricks. You see, because what this really is all about, it's about the 80% piece of life. It's the 80%. It's what's in your mind. It's your psychology. The tactics, not strategy. The tactics are really just learning the charts and the chart patterns that are out there. You've got to get your mind straight. So we talked about, really, in the last couple weeks, outcomes, what is it that you want, and your strong reasons why. Now, the next thing, that's part of what I call the OPA formula. I learned that from Anthony Robbins, OPA. I love that. I love that because, as a kid, that's what I was eating all the time, were those wonderful flame saganakis. If you haven't had the Greek saganaki cheese, folks, you absolutely should. And so, but back to OPA, if you will. A is for the action. So if you have been working with me, if you have been going through identifying your outcomes, and you've got your strong reasons why, what I want you to do now for each of those areas, for something that you want to manifest in your life, no matter it's a toy, a reward, or all the actions that you could possibly take. Not all the actions that you will take, but all of the actions that you could possibly take for each and every one of those. You use that same formula, whether it's in your business or whether it's in your personal life, whatever it is, for whatever it is you want to achieve, you want to understand your outcome, you want to understand your purpose, your strong reasons why, and then start listing all of those reasons. That's what you want to do. Why do I want to do? What are all the actions that I'm taking? Well, the actions that I take the actions here of just simply communicating to you on the show, putting together special reports like the one that you can get on the homepage of TFNN, putting together a special webcast, and folks, please do me a favor. I don't ask often for gifts, but if you could give me just this one gift, if each of you would tell just at least one person, all I'm asking you between now and Wednesday is to just simply let one person know who's in business about this free webinar. I promise you that I will be able to help them grow their business like nothing they have ever seen before, because there are little parts of a formula that we just simply get away from. And why is it that we do that? Because what we so often do in life, when it comes to trading, we work inside the business. what we do so little of is work on the business. What we do so little of is work on ourselves. It's why I like to be able to take the opening segments when the markets are relatively flat, if you will. I like to be able to take these segments because, to me, it's really all about working on yourself. If you want to have massive change, and to me, that's what it's all about, massive change, massive growth. You'll see the link on the homepage of TFNN under Breaking News. It talks about massive growth. Well, if you want to have massive change, folks, which I think that's what it's really all about, you know, you got to just simply be willing to make changes. You've got to be able to be willing to work on yourself. That's at 80%. You know, Fran Tarkenton, he now thinks it's more like 95% of the game. So somewhere, you know, if you take a look at the folks that are out there, 80 to 95% of understanding and being able to make massive change, being able to take your life from where you're at right now to where it is you want to go, it's all about working on you. And we, in life, we get so caught up into the minutia. We get so caught up into the detail as to what's the pattern that's going on or so forth that we don't work on ourselves. Because the work on ourselves is the ability to pull the trigger. So please just simply do me that one favor. Just touch one person in your life, somebody who is either on top of their game and they're trying to find another gear, or somebody that's struggling in business. Tell them to go to the homepage of TFNN under Breaking News. Sign up for massive, and I mean massive growth, folks. When we get back, we'll go tool around the world, take a look at the markets. You got the DAX is up 43 points, FTSE up 24. Our futures, ES Mini up about 4 points. We'll be right back, folks.
X-Story Gold Mines, an NYSE Amex-listed company trading under the symbol XG, is slated to be the newest gold-silver producer in Argentina. X-Story is forecast to produce more than $250 million in bullion annually, beginning in 2013, at a cash cost of less than $200 for each ounce of gold produced. That forecast will make X-Story one of the highest margin operators in South America and a sector leader in the mining industry. X-Story has $50 million in its treasury, having spent over $60 million to date on drilling and engineering. The ultimate size of its Argentina discovery could be determined by year-end, as results from the 6 drills operating at the site are fully assessed. To find out more about X-Story Gold Mines and their exciting growth potential, click on their banner on the front page of TFNN.com or check them out on the NYSE Amex under the symbol XG.
TFNN is proud to bring you the cutting edge of investment newsletters. Ken Shreve's Ultimate Growth Stocks. Ken is a top-down investor who lets price and volume in the major stock indices tell him when to be in the market and when to be out. By using his unique blend of fundamental and technical analysis, Ken will protect your hard-earned capital while realizing breakouts gains. Go to TFNN.com today, click Investment Newsletters, and get Ken Shreve's Ultimate Growth Stocks free for 2 weeks.
In 1929, Joe Kennedy had $4 million. By 1932, he grew it into $180 million. All this during the Great Depression. The good thing about economic difficult times is that the worst economy can produce the best rewards in the shortest period of time. In fact, during the last 130 years, 61% of that time has been spent in recession. How would you like the strategies that are bulletproof against the turmoil of our economy in these fast-changing times? For the last quarter of a century, I've studied and used the secrets used by millionaires and billionaires. These are bulletproof strategies that will absolutely astonish you. I'd love to introduce you to these concepts that will absolutely change your life. You'll learn the 3 ways to grow any business exponentially. I'm Steve Rhodes, co-host of the Money Masters with Tom O'Brien and host of the Trader's Edge, both seen daily at TFNN.com. If you're even a little bit interested in accumulating wealth, providing a better life for you and your family, then go to TFNN.com, look under Breaking News, and click on the Get Steve Rhodes Special Report link, and I'll email you this free report, Pathways to Wealth.
Are you looking for a precision edge in the market? Something that can stack the odds in your favor? Then look into Larry Pesavento's new trading newsletter, Patterns, Profits, and Peace of Mind. In each weekly issue, Larry explains what's going to happen in the markets based on the pattern he sees developing and gives you actionable trade ideas based on those patterns. Plus, you'll get his detailed analysis on a variety of markets and sectors, including stocks, treasury bonds, the gold market, oil, the dollar, the Forex market, and more. And you'll get the Technical Corner segment, which is a short but powerful weekly training session on trading. You'll get access to all the patterns Larry is seeing in the markets, plus the Astro Harmonics and powerful Bradley stock market model that Larry utilizes for less than $5 a day. An extremely potent combination that will give you just the edge you've been looking for. Try patterns, profits, and peace of mind absolutely free for 2 weeks. Go to tfnn.com and click on the free trial link at the top of the page. That's an $85 value, yours free when you register right now. Get Larry's patterns, profits, and peace of mind and get the edge you've been looking for.
Here's what people are saying about Tiger TV.
Let's go to John in Tampa. Hey, John, what's going on?
Hi, Tom. How are you, sir?
I'm doing great. You having a good day out there?
A wonderful day. I love your Tiger TV. I watch it every day. I'm like a kid in a candy store.
Oh, man, I appreciate you out there watching it. How long have you been watching the Tiger TV?
I'm watching almost a month now, and it's wonderful.
It's pretty cool, isn't it?
Oh, yes, it's cool. You see the charts and everything. Thanks so much for the hard work.
Tiger TV, a great news service from TFNN.com. This segment is brought to you by TFNN. Test drive all the newsletters for free at TFNN.com.
Welcome back, folks. 877-927-6648. So let's start beginning our tour around the world. Let's actually start off in our futures marketplace. Let's go take a look at the NASDAQ futures trading out right now at 2430.75. And what do we got out here? Well, what we've got here, let's take a look at these patterns. Now, what you'll see all these little yellow boxes over here. I don't know how, and hopefully you're watching us on Tiger TV. You know, if you're listening on the radio, thank you for doing that so much. And if you're not, we'd sure love you to be able to go over to Tiger TV so you can see the charts. You can get Tiger TV streaming on your device, whether it's your home. You can get it obviously on your home computer. You can get it on your mobile device, like your cell phone. If it's like an iPhone, an Android device, and certainly all of the pads that are out there. Now, what we're looking at here, and you can just simply go over to the right side of the homepage at TFNN.com. You'll see in the little area there. Click on that. You can bookmark that, and you'll be able to just click on that icon anytime you want and watch Tiger TV live. Get the live streaming video. So over here on the left, all these little yellow boxes really are identifying all these different bearish engulfing candles, which really the tops of these areas have been strong resistance. What happened yesterday is the NASDAQ futures, punched up through them. And now what the NASDAQ futures are doing is they're taking on their highs. It, kind of like, if you will, our most recent real highs that we've got out there, July 26, 2011. And the high there is 2435.50. That's the black line that's going across the top of my screen, the very top area. Well, what did the NASDAQ futures get to already this morning? 2433.25. Maybe they're building up a little steam, but certainly more like steam, if you will, to try to punch through that area. So it stopped just before it. So we haven't had a test. We're inside that swing point. And the swing point, folks, is where you see an immediate change. In fact, I'll go ahead and I'll zoom in a little bit. You'll be able to see where it is that we're taking a look at. We're coming right over here to this July 26 high. You'll see that I've got a line going across both the top and the bottom of the swing point so that I know where it is we're going. That is our AAA triptych. That's our TFNN triptych, if you will, to understand where we're trading. Until you either reject this swing point, and reject it means get above it, close back down below it on low volume. What you'd like to see there, you'd like to see an ultimate test where it gets all the way below the swing point, not just the top. Or do you get above it and you stay above it? If you get above it and you stay above it, you then go to the next level. The next level could be a swing point, or the next level could be a pattern. Well, that little light blue area that you're looking at on the screen here, that is what we call a butterfly pattern setup. Let me go ahead and shorten this up a bit so you can see what this looks like. And what you'll see is you'll see this number here, maybe tough to read. It's 1.272. That is one of our sacred geometry expansion numbers. That your life expands. You know, if you think about it, you've got A, B, C's in life. You know, maybe you're just about to bust through, your B point or your swing point, if you will. That's why I want you to stay focused. That's why I was talking, maybe I got off track here. Well, no, I didn't totally get off track. Why athletes, when you get right to the area where you're about to have success, all of a sudden you change your game. What took you to there, what took you to that station, if you will, you start to change. You freeze up. You change your focus. Well, many times in life, that's what happens. And I don't want you to do that. I want you to even put more energy and focus on being able to get to where it is you want to go. When you get right there, when you can really see it, when you see that that's a light, that that's not a train that's coming at you, that is a light at the end of your tunnel. Well, the light at the end of this tunnel here, when we take a look at the NASDAQ futures, is likely going to get up into the 2484 area. Why? Because what you've got is you've got this 1.272 expansion. Why it works like this, I don't know. But once you bust through this swing point, assuming that it does that, because right now you've got a test here of that swing point, of that July 26th area. That, you could get above it, close below it on lighter volume. That would be a fine test, and this pattern here won't fulfill itself. But if you do get above it, lighter volume or stronger volume, then what you will likely do is you'll get up into that 2484 area. You'll be able to get this 1.272 expansion, which is the expansion off of the swing point right here from October 27th. You know that was an important area for us, all the way down here to the low of November 25th. Now, if I go all the way over here to July 26th here for another quick moment here, what you'll actually see, not only was this a swing point, but as we came off of that high on July 27th, you did that with some vengeance. I believe there was some volume behind that move. You also had another bearish engulfing pattern. That is where the body, if you will, engulfed not just the prior session, but you want to take a look at this. That's why this area here is really strong resistance, because you engulfed this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You engulfed 5 candles, if you will, on the NASDAQ futures. That was telling you that this area here is now going to be strong resistance. So it's going to be important. I think the NASDAQ futures are absolutely going to be the first to give us an indication as to if the market wants to continue moving higher, folks. 877-927-6648. We get back, we'll go see how this market's going to pop.
Attention business owners, managers, and entrepreneurs. Studies show that 1 in 25 businesses last 10 years, and less than 1% of all businesses generate $5 million in annual revenues. Would you like to learn the skills that separate these businesses from all of the rest? It isn't about working 10 times harder. It's about working 10 times smarter. And I can show you how. Absolutely free, no strings attached. I'm Steve Rhodes, co-host of The Money Masters with Tom O'Brien, seen daily at TFNN.com, past owner of businesses at Disney, Universal Studios, Vegas casinos, and top destinations throughout the world. Join me Wednesday, January 25th at 6:30 p.m. for a 1-hour online webinar where I'll teach you how to get your dream clients, get past the one person that stands between you and the most influential people in the world, and show you the 3 ways to grow your business exponentially. Go to the front page at TFNN.com under Breaking News and click on Pathways to Growth, where preparation meets opportunity. That's Wednesday, January 25th. Register now for your Pathway to Growth, part of our Go Long America program on the homepage of TFNN.com. Decisions shape your destiny. Shape yours now.
Hi folks, this is Tom O'Brien. If you want to get great trade setups in equity as well as the option market, come over to TFNN.com and test drive my daily newsletter, Market Insights, for 2 weeks absolutely free. Each trade setup comes with a profit projection as well as stop placement. Included in Market Insights is a Twitter alert service. This allows you to take advantage of intraday setups. Volatility is back in the markets. What does that mean to you? To me, it spells short-term opportunity each and every day. The days of trending up on lighter volume are gone. We have come off the highs with volume across the globe. Don't get caught in a complacency trap. Many of the indices have given back 2 months of trading in 1 week. We have a trader's market. You can take advantage of this trader's market by test driving my daily newsletter, Market Insights, free for 2 weeks. Market Insights will give you the edge you're looking for in the markets. Go to TFNN.com under newsletter. Hit the Market Insight tab for your 2-week free test drive right here, right now.
In just December of last year, the price of gold was down over 10%. In today's highly volatile gold market, you need someone in your corner that understands the complex relationships that exist within the price of gold, as well as within a variety of gold equities. Whether it's the South African gold miners and knowing how the Rand-dollar relationship will affect their bottom line, or understanding how John Paulson's $5 billion trade in the GLD can move the market, Tom O'Brien gives you the direction you need to become become a better trader each week in his newsletter, The Gold Report. With over 20 individual equities covered and almost another 20 on the potential watch list each week, in addition to covering the XAU, HUI, GLD, and dollar, The Gold Report is a great source for any trader that is looking to be diversified in today's volatile gold market. For your 30-day free trial to Tom O'Brien's Gold Report, log on to TFNN.com today. Don't miss out on this great offer. Act now.
What type of investor are you? Conservative, moderate, or aggressive? No matter your investor personality, your overall portfolio should reflect your financial goals, time horizon, and your risk tolerance. Help ensure your portfolio is appropriately invested with an asset allocation plan from Morgan Stanley Smith Barney. Simply picking the right stocks is not enough. Research has shown that choosing the right proportion of stocks, bonds, and cash is essential to the success of your long-term investments. Morgan Stanley Smith Barney believes a carefully selected portfolio can lower your volatility and increase investment return potential. Find out about what asset allocation and a Morgan Stanley Smith Barney financial advisor can do for you. Call Angelo O'Brien, financial advisor and certified financial planner of the Clearwater, Florida branch at 727-441-6108 today to discuss your personal financial needs. Asset allocation does not assure a profit or protect against loss in declining financial markets. Investments and services are offered through Morgan Stanley Smith Barney, LLC. Member SIPC.
This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
And we're off to the races. You got the Dow up 22, S&P's up 4. Small caps up 3. You got the composite up 12. NDX up 11 points. New York Stock Exchange up 31. The DAX is up 43 points right now. FTSE up 28. You got King Dollar. King Dollar trading down 30 cents out at 80.52. Light Sweet Crude is up 87 cents right now, trading out at 101.46. Gold contract down $4.20. Silver off about 7 pennies right now, and platinum up $8. Now, what we've got on my screen here right now is the ES Mini. This is the S&P futures contract. Let's go ahead and just simply take a look at this here. I was showing this to you yesterday. I believe I was showing this to you yesterday. The blue line here is this descending top. So we were coming off of our May 2nd high up here, and you can see just simply a straight line from the top of that swing point down to the next top of the next swing point, which came right in here on July the 8th. Then, you know, to almost hit the exact top of the swing point that you had out there on July 21st, 22nd time, July 22nd it looked like. And we were just coming into that area yesterday. You punch through it, even though you're punching through some of these areas on lighter volumes. Once you punch through a resistance area, says you can go higher. And in this case here, you know, the pattern that's completing, just like what we took a look at on the NASDAQ futures, this would say that 1327 is game. In the ES Mini, you're trading out right now at 1305.75. So look for this pattern here to complete. My guess is that it'll complete tomorrow. Maybe late in the day today, but likely late in the session tomorrow, early Monday time frame. Look for that pattern to complete. Unless the market decides to give it up. But right now, what's it really all about? Well, first, let's quickly go over and take a look at our directional indicator. That's taking a look at King Dollar and the ES Mini, the 5-minute ES Mini. You can see that is dancing. It's doing its tango, meaning that if the dollar is getting stronger, that the market is getting weaker. In this case here, the dollar just slightly stronger. That's when the blue line here that you're looking at is moving down. The red line being the ES Mini also moving down. So you can see it's doing that beautiful dance from a directional standpoint that we take a look at. If we go over and take a look at, well, what is that all about? What is this chart all about? Well, we know this chart is all about the euro. So what is the euro doing? Let's go take a look out there. And the euro wants to go ahead and completed an A to B equals C to D. It did that this morning. The A point on the euro was all the way down at about 12 noon on January 13th. The B point on it brought it all the way up to about the 8 a.m. time frame, January 17th, right in the price point range of about 1.28. An A to B equals C to D, completed right in here at about 129 let's see, what it actually completed right about 1.290, almost right on the button. And you can see it completed the area, got up a little bit above it. When you do an A to B equals C to D. You start to pull back a little bit. That's what you see just going on right here. Looks to me that what the euro really wants to do, this is nothing more than just normal breathing, is at least, and what you also have here is on the 60-minute chart, if you go to the next most defined swing point. So the next most defined swing point is right here where my cursor's at. It's right at about the 3 p.m. time frame on January the 3rd. You can see that's where you saw quite a shift in the marketplace. You saw that little waterfall, if you will. So that's a swing point that we would just simply use as a baseline. That we would draw for our retracement area from the top there all the way down to the bottom where we started our A point. So right in that January 13th time frame. When we also completed this A to B equals C to D, this completed right here at the 0.618 area. And that's where you would come visit us when you are in Clearwater. You'd come over to 601 Cleveland Street. You would get on the elevator, hit number 6, and you would get off at Suite 618. Well, you do a 618, you do an A to B equals C to D. You can expect that folks are going to get off the elevator, if you will. And that's what they're doing here just slightly. I believe that the euro wants to get up at least into this 0.786 area. It would be just above a 1.272 expansion of this swing point here. And so it looks to me like what the euro wants to do is trade into the 1.294 all the way up maybe into the 1.30 area. Well, if that's what the euro does, that's going to put some pressure on our market. No, it doesn't put pressure. Apologize. That's going to give a little relief valve on our marketplace. You would see our market, move higher, but realize that what the market is doing right now, while it's relatively flat, I mean, the Dow is 15 points up, S&P, 2.5, the euro pulling back just a little bit. It's just normal. It's just normal breathing right now. This is where you're going to expect the area where, you're going to have folks getting off the elevator. Then maybe it'll move down a bit and you'll get some more folks on the elevator. But I do believe that the euro wants to move higher. If we take a look at the daily chart, we'll go pull back to the daily here. The daily chart has moved outside of this August 25th, August 26th swing point area. We're coming all the way back into, and this was the area we were taking a look at, which is the August of 2010 time frame. The low that we were looking for possibly was the 1.25861. It did not get down that low, but it got inside that swing point, got all the way down on the, let's see, the date here is the 13th, got down to a low of 1.26229. We've come out of here. You can see here that, what it looks like, what the euro really wants to do is get up into this area here, the 130. I believe that's where I said that is a likely spot when we took a look at the 60-minute chart. That's what we were looking at before. That would, here we would have a move of a move, 100% move of a move. And at that stage, that's when we would see, as the euro completed its work to the downside, and is just going to do a normal retracement, and then because the euro could really bounce. If you take a look at where this thing could bounce to, if you just simply come to what I'll call the most significant swing point where we see, a significant change in market trend, you'd come right up here to the, of course, if I asked you what date was that, you could say, Steve, that's October 27th. Of course it is October 27th. So if you just simply take a look at a normal retracement from the October 27th high in the euro all the way down to the low that it made, what you'd be taking a look at, just a 0.382 retracement would take you to 1.32. A 0.618 retracement take you to 1.36. Well, here's the thing. If the euro does bounce to those areas, those patterns that we were taking a look at inside the NASDAQ futures, inside the ES Mini, those areas will absolutely get blown away because of the correlation that we have between the dollar and the and our marketplaces. So, is it more likely for the euro just simply to get up into this range here, the $1.30, before it would start to pull back? I think so. Now, let's go take a tour around the world. Let's see what we've got going around the world out here. And we'll go take a look at the DAX first. The DAX being up 40 points right now. Let's go see what the DAX is targeting, what it's trying to hit. And we take a look at the DAX. We'll blow this chart up for you. And the DAX is making a move of a move. The DAX is just simply trying to attack this swing point here from October 28th. For us in the U.S. markets, it was October 27th. The DAX, the high swing point was October 28th. The high out there, 64.30.60. Let's see what you've gotten up to today. The high price in the DAX has gotten up to 64.20.35. Now, that's interesting because that's a piece of information you would expect the DAX with the euro coming up off the bottom like it did. You would expect it to be able to punch through that swing point area. Let's take we'll just take a closer look here, get rid of some of the information that's on there. So still not strong enough to get over. The question is, does the DAX want to make let's take a look at this ABC pattern, because if it can get up above October 28th, you would go ahead and pull it all the way back down to November 25th, and it would say the DAX can get it right up here into this 68.33 area, and let's see if that's a logical spot. And how do we identify if that's a logical spot? We go back to some swing points, and we start doing retracement. So you can come back to the swing point right here from July time frame. Will go from the high there all the way down to the bottom. And what you're looking for, you can see this would come in right at about a 0.786 area. If we go all the way over here, and this is going to be the May swing point, the May 2nd area, and we talked about that May 2nd area being important when we take a look at our markets here. What you'll see is that's also going to be, the point. So what we're looking at, if the DAX can get up over this area, it says the DAX wants to travel all the way up into this 68.31 to maybe 7,000 area. So that'll be interesting to see how that pattern plays out. But first, it's got to get up and over this swing point. If it can't get up and over it, or if it gets up and over it, closes back below it on lighter volume, and that starts coming into sync with our markets. And the sync would be taking a look at, let's go take a look at the ETFs that we've got out there. And on the ETFs, we'll take a look at the 4 quadrants that'll set up here on my screen. Those 4 quadrants being the Qs in the upper left-hand corner, the SPY in the upper right-hand corner, the small caps in the lower right-hand corner, and the diamonds in the lower left. And what you can see out here, you can see patterns. Now, the Qs, let's go take a look at the Qs here. You've got the Qs are trading out at 59.73, and right at, let me blow this up here a little bit, and right at about 59.67. Right about 59.67, if you took a listen to yesterday's show, you could see that this was an area that we were targeting as going to be a possibly a turn area. But the way that the Qs have punched up in here, you still have this gap that's here, that's open. You've got, this is a third gap. Look at this on this leg up on this C to D leg. You've got this first gap that occurred out here on December 30th to January 3rd when we came back in. You had another gap when we came back from January 16th into the holiday after the Martin Luther King Day. That was this week. You've got a gap up now. This is not a 3-gap play because even though this is a third gap, the third gap is not larger, both in price and in percentage. You can already see that visually on here. So this is not a 3-gap play, but it did gap up this morning, indicating still some strength here. This 59.68 is a 1.618 expansion. It's also a move of a move. It's above a move of a move, if you will. And what it looks like to me the Qs want to do, it looks like to me the Qs want to go ahead and make a fuller 1.272 expansion off of this X point here, and this A, B equals CD, and it's more than a 1-to-1, A to B equals CD. So it looks to me like the Qs want to get up to the 60.98 area. If we take a look at the other ETFs that are out there, the other ETFs, the question is going to be who's going to give us the signal as to what's really going to go on. Are all these patterns that you're looking at on my screen, are all of these going to complete at the same time? If we take a look at the Dow Diamonds, where it would be the pattern on the diamonds, the Dow Diamonds would be both a test of the highs on the diamonds coming back all the way to that May 2nd area. Remember, we talked about May 2nd being very important. The high on May 2nd on the DIA, the Dow Diamonds, is 128.63. At 128.80 is a 1.618 expansion of this October 27 swing point all the way down to the lows of November 25th. And so it looks to me like that's where the diamonds want to head to. You got the diamonds are trading out right now at 125.80. It'd be a heck of a move, but that is the pattern that is showing up here. The diamonds were the first ones up over the October 27th area. And so that's where the diamond. Now, what you can also look at here on the screen, and maybe you caught this, and take a look at the 4 quadrants. Over on the bottom edge of my screen here, this is the volume bars. And so this is, active volume. As if I come over at the and take a look at the swing point, you'll see the volume. You'll see the shares being added every second as the shares are trading. You can see that in the green bar that is over on the right-hand side. Right now, you've got 954 4,021 shares, if you will, that have traded today. And you can see, but mostly you just pay attention to the bottom here, and you can see we're up over this area on light volume. In fact, if you take a look at the biggest volume bar that you've got on the diamonds, it's all the way down to November 21st. The high out there being 116.32. So here's the deal. If this market corrects, one of the places that it will likely fall to, if you take a look at anything when it falls out of bed, any stock that you own, you go back and take a look at your chart. And one of the first things you should do is go take a look at high volume bars that are below where you're trading. Because those high volume bars below where they're trading are going to be an area of support for you. Because what do you have out here? You typically have got some institutional buyers. And if they were willing to buy at that area, those are going to be the folks that may go ahead and support the trade as it pulls back into that market. Why? Because they've got this never-ending fund of dollars. Not like necessarily all of us individual traders out there. That's why you go look for those volume bars. Now, if you just simply go ahead and take some sacred geometry to it just to see how that works out, let me go ahead and shorten this up so we can take a look at it. We'll go from the November 25th low all the way up to the projection of this 1.618. Beautiful butterfly that is out there. Let's go see where our 618 retracement would come down to. The 618 retracement on here is 118.32. And at 118.32, what do you have out here? You haven't made it down to that high volume area. What you do have at that high volume area is the 0.786. That would be 115.64. So should the market correct when we get up there, and oftentimes when you see that, when I say oftentimes, I'm talking like 70% of the time, folks, when these patterns complete, especially if you are coming up here, what we're setting up is tiger butterflies, tiger gartleys all over the place. And what the diamonds will do is they will pull back all the way into that area. And that is just simply normal. That would actually be a normal move, but it might freak you out. But if you knew ahead of time, if you knew when the market was pulling back where it was going to pull back to, or if it was moving up where it was going to move up to, wouldn't that help you, folks? I know that it would. I absolutely know that it would. Stay tuned, folks. We got one more segment, then Tom and I will be doing the Money Masters. Then you got Kate Stalter today from 11 to 12 doing the Small Business Roundup, and sitting in for Larry Pesavento is our man Basil Chapman, 12 to 1. Ken Shreve, 3 to 4. Dow's up 11. We'll be right back, folks.
You've always taken the long view when it comes to investing. But what if there's an opportunity right under your nose? What if you could be more responsive to market trends to seek to boost your portfolio performance right now while actually reducing your overall risk? At Direction Funds, we connect investors with alternative strategies that seek to maximize their returns, making missed opportunities a thing of the past. Smart investors deserve smart alternatives. Find yours at directionfunds.com. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risk charges, and expenses of Direction Funds carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction Funds. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact the Direction Funds at 800-851-0511. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. Investing in index funds may be more volatile than investing in broadly diversified funds. Distributed by Rafferty Capital Markets, LLC. Would you like to discover the next great tech stock? David White, TFNN's technology guru, has just launched his new newsletter, The Technology Insider. In his newsletter, David will be looking for those shining stars that may turn into the next Apple, Microsoft, or Cisco. David combines his technology background as a software programmer with his market skills as a successful professional trader to give you this unique newsletter. We're on the verge of the next great tech run. With the Technology Insider, you'll be in front of the run-up and not lagging behind. David is developing a long-term investment portfolio, therefore we're only offering the Technology Insider as an annual subscription with a remarkable price of only $395. That's right, for a little over $1 a day, you'll receive the fundamental technology wisdom and technical trading skills of the Technology Insider David White. What are you waiting for? Go to the frontoftfnn.com, click on the link on the front page, sign up for your 2-week free trial, and become a Technology Insider today.
Put the power of the Chapman Wave methodology to work for you. No matter what market you trade, what time frame you trade in, or your trading style, the Opening Call, Basil Chapman's daily market newsletter, is bursting with the information and trades you need to become a more successful trader.
I've been using Basil Chapman's Chapman Wave methodology for several years now. His Chapman Wave can be used for any time period for not only equities, but futures, currencies, commodities. I've been also a subscriber of his Opening Call, which I find an invaluable tool to help me analyze the potential of the market each day. He gives you opportunities to go short and long. It includes recommendations on stocks. I strongly recommend people using the Chapman Wave, and I very, very strongly support the use of his Opening Call.
To find out more about Basil Chapman and his Chapman Wave methodology, and to get your 2-week free trial of the Opening Call, a $64 value, visit tfnn.com today.
At Tiger Metal Exchange, we pay you more for converting your jewelry to cash.
Let's go to Brian in New Jersey. Hey, Brian, what's going on?
Hey, Tom, just want to let you know I did give you some jewelry. My jeweler offered me about $650, but you get a check in the mail tomorrow for about $1,200.
At Tiger Metal Exchange, it's all about honesty when converting your jewelry to cash.
Okay, let's go to Paul in Florida first. Hey, Paul, what's going on?
I want to commend you on the Tiger Metal Exchange. I just did a deal with you guys the other day.
Oh, good.
I'm very happy.
Well, I appreciate it. Now, Did you sell us jewelry or did you buy coins off us?
I sold you jewelry.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
What we weighted at was less than you guys said, so, you're totally honest.
At Tiger Metal Exchange, we give you the tools to value your gold, and it's absolutely free. Call 866-618-8888 or log on to TigerMetalExchange.com. We've created the easiest, safest, and most honest cash for gold process. Tiger Metal Exchange. It's the only call you need to make.
Catch Tom O'Brien and Steve Rhodes as they teach you the art of mastering money when it comes to trading and investing. The Money Masters, next on TFNN.
Welcome back, folks. You got the Dow's up 11 points, S&P's up 3, Composite up 12, small caps up 2, and what I've got on my screen here right now is the Dow Diamonds. We got a 30-minute chart out here, and I've drawn in here an AB equals CD pattern. The A point on this here that we'd be taking a look at, and there's always ABCs, with inside larger ABCs. So this is a smaller one, if you will. This one here starts off on January 13th at 10:30. The A point would be the low at 122.92. The B point, you can see we gapped up yesterday. This is the gap up into, not yesterday, 2 days ago, the 17th. That is our B point. The high out there being 125.57. Now, that's our B point, 832,000 shares. We're still 25 minutes into the open, and what you can see here, you can see this red line going across, and you can see how we are up above that with volume. We've already done 1.1 million shares. That is, and you came into it yesterday during the last hour of trading from the 3 to 3:30 time frame. You came in there with 658,000 shares. Not enough volume. Going into the close, though, you did 892,000 shares. So you did 892 versus the volume at the B point of 832. So that gave you a confirmation, because you closed up above it, that you were going to go ahead and complete your A to B equals C to D, because you did it on volume. Well, what are we seeing this morning right now? We're seeing a little bit of follow-through on that. So if we shorten this up here, take a look at the diamonds. This says the diamonds want to trade out to 127.06, just simply on the smaller A to B equals C to D. If we go back this off, and let's back this off to a shorter intraday time frame, let's take a look at a 10-minute time frame. Well, how did that work? It's already on my... No, it's not. There we go. There's our 10-minute time frame. 10-minute time frame, still using the same areas. So I'm going to come down here to the low on the 10-minute time frame, what we're looking at. Again, 10:30 a.m. all the way up to the high that we had at 9:50. Looks like either 9:50 or 10 exactly. We come right down here to the low that was made at about 9:40 in the morning on the 18th now. And then, so what we've got here, let's take this line tool. Let's come over to our 10-minute bars. Let's take a look at the one that is the most difficult to get over right here. Here's our volume. We'll come across. We'll take a look at this. And so when we take a look at coming over, let's go ahead and draw this right here. as well so you can see this. And this is what you want to be able to do, folks, and take a look at what's going on intraday inside your charts. Well, that didn't work out real well, did it? Let me I moved that somehow to a 1-minute chart, and we want to take a look at this on the 10-minute chart. So let me get rid of that last line that I drew in there. That was no good. Okay, so we can see right here that we're already over it. So the volume that we had at our B point on a 10-minute chart was 345,000 shares. As you were coming into that yesterday, you were coming in on a 10-minute chart. You started coming in at about 210. You did that on 111,000 shares. Nope, sorry, not enough. In fact, you didn't get enough volume until going right into the close. So right into the close in the last 10 minutes, what you did was 460,000 shares, 460 going against the B point that had 345. That gave you a confirmation that that wanted to complete an A to B equals C to D. That's why I believe, that the market certainly wants to trade higher, at least intraday, if you will. And that's why I think we'll see the market continue to go make those patterns, because you can start off with a daily chart, then you start diving down. You start diving down to see if you've got consistency with regard to the patterns. What you can see now as we opened up in our first 10 minutes of the session, we did 732,000 shares. That is on the diamonds, if you will. So let's see, what else do we have out here? Well, we're not going to have enough time. So do me a favor, folks. One person, just please one person. I'm going to ask you for one gift. Just tell one person who owns a business, is starting a business, thinking about starting a business, is trying to get their business going. Have them go to the front page of TFNN.com, sign up for Pathways to Growth, and you will help them create massive change. See you in just a few with Tom. If not, see you tomorrow morning. Have a great day, folks.